Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave. I'm so excited to be stamping with you today. I know I always say that, but I really mean it. I have a great project that I came up with for this week's Stamping Paper Challenge, and the theme this week was Card Maker's Challenge, which means I can basically do whatever I want. Yay! That's the best kind, right? And so I really wanted to pull out this stamp set because I haven't used it super recently. I've used it like in some classes and stuff, but I haven't kind of played with it. So I really wanted to do a cool card in some pretty fall colors, and I think this one fits the bill. So this is using the Jar of Love stamp set, which is my absolute favorite from the big catalog when it came out this June. I just love this because I think it's so versatile. There's so many things you can do with this beautiful set. There's so many pieces, and what's even better is that there are framelits that cut all this fabulous stuff out, which what more could you really want? I mean, seriously. So I really am anxious to share with you how I made all of this because it's so easy. It's just about picking colors and picking positioning of things, picking the positioning of things. So let me share with you how I made this. Very simple. Now, all of the colors and details and dimensions and all that stuff will be on my blog. I have more photos as well as some great information about this, including I have an online class for this stamp set. I love this set so much. So I've gotten some amazing feedback on my online classes, and this one was for sure one of my favorites, and I think one of the favorites of people who've been taking them. So I'm going to put a little scrap piece of paper in here because I am messy. So I'm going to start by telling you that the stamp or the color combination that I got for this was kind of based on a color or on a card that I did last week for my VIP page. And the color combination included Night of Navy, which is what I just stamped the jar in, Delightful Dijon, Cajun Craze, Old Olive, and Rich Razzleberry. I think that's everything. So I wanted to include that. Now, as I stamped my card, I wanted to put some leaves in here, but I didn't want to stamp this whole leaf a bunch of times because I wanted to sprinkle flowers throughout. So I decided to go with I'm trying to find it here, the little leaf. Oh, it's right here. The little leaf image. But I thought it would be weird if all of these flowers were above my jar and then there was no stems going into it. Because after all, I'm a biology teacher and it takes stems to keep these flowers nice. So let's represent, okay? So first of all, I'm going to put some water in my jar so they don't all die, right? I did that with Soft Sky. And then I'm going to ink up literally just the stem portion of the stamp in Old Olive. And here's my Old Olive pad. I have this all kind of arranged so nicely and neat in my office, which is kind of a impressive feat as it is. Okay, so I inked up you can see just part of the stem. That's what I love about these clear stamps is you can do that. And then I'm going to stamp it multiple times. So I'm just putting ink on that portion. And then I'm spreading these out and doing some full strength, some stamped off. And then I'll do just maybe a couple of more. Okay. So there you can see I have a bunch of stems, so they're not going to die. Whew. I know you were worried. Okay, then what I'm going to do is work from largest to smallest, and this is how I include all these images in here. Now I'm going to start by stamping off my first layer of ink on the tulip. This is with Delightful Dijon ink. Okay, and then I don't want to leave a big hole there. Well, I'm going to kind of cover it up so it doesn't matter. Part of when I was doing this is I was like, oh, that's not that pretty. We need to cover that up. So that's where the bow came from, and it worked out great. Then I will go with the next largest, which is this 2 flower image. And to ink this, I only want to do 1 flower at a time. So literally, I'm going to ink up 1 flower. I'm going to stamp it off, and then I'm going to include it on there. And then I'm going to do one more right here because it's just bugging me. Okay. And then I'm going to clean, because next I'm going to stamp the other smaller flower. Okay, and this is a really great way to use just one of the stamped images at a time without having to worry about masking or anything, because that is way too much work. And if you guys know nothing about me, it's that I'm messy and lazy. Okay, I might take that a little further than I need to, but I really do like to make sure that things are kind of balanced and nice despite my laziness. Okay, so same thing here. I'm going to ink just the larger of the two, full strength this time, and then stamp it down onto my stamped off one and clean in between, and then do the other image. Like so. Oh, perfect. Oh, but I haven't done the detail of my first flower. I should probably do that. So I will stamp the detail image on here in full strength, still Delightful Dijon ink. And then I have the cool, this is what I really love about this set, is there's stamen. Is that the right color? Yes, it is. So I will just add those in right here, like so. Okay, now I really wanted to fill this out a bit more, so I added some greenery as well as some smaller flowers. Same thing with the greenery. I don't want that whole long stem, so I'm just going to ink part of it. And I have one right there and a stamped off one right there. I'll ink it up again and put one right here and another one right there. And you get the drift. And I think this looks so nice and balanced when I do it this way. Okay. And I love the fall colors that I have going on here. Now I want to show you, I cut, this is, there's on the stamp, there's this thing right here. It is, it looks like your stamp is giving you the bird. That's not what's going on here. This is to help you align the framelit that cuts this image out. And so I did catch the ink onto my card, but here is the beautiful solution to that. Well, I have a couple solutions. I usually spritz things in cases like this, which we're totally going to do because, hello, it wouldn't be a Card Maker's Challenge card if I didn't have some spritzing on it. But this cute little flower is perfect for stamping right over the top of that ink to hide it. So I'm kind of digging that option. Now I am going to stamp some of these in Rich Razzleberry, some in Rich Razzleberry Stamped Off, and some in Night of Navy. And I think that gives a great assortment of colors. I'll clean that one. And then it gives a nice assortment as well of kind of tone and balancing warm colors with cool colors and all that kind of business. Doesn't that sound fancy? Like I know what I'm talking about? I mean, I totally do, but okay. So I think that's pretty good. I like the look of this. Now notice it's really flat. So I also decided I would stamp and pop up a couple of those images. So I'm going to grab a scrap of very vanilla cardstock. And what I love about this, I'm just looking for the scrap I used originally. Of course I can't find it, my gosh. You can use a teeny little scrap to get what you need out of here, but I'm going to go ahead and just stamp a couple of these. Stamp them off first and then the detail on top, as well as my cute little stamen. There is something about this little stamen stamp that just makes me happy. Okay, I'm going to die cut those. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I just die cut my pieces and here they are. I'm going to pop them up and stick them on my card. And I have to tell you about the most genius thing ever. And I heard of this a few weeks ago, and I can't remember where I heard it, like where this genius idea came from, because it was not actually me, despite the fact that I'd love to claim it. It was not me who thought this one up. But it is so amazing. It just like makes me kind of giddy. And you know, I get giddy about stuff sometimes. Well, someone mentioned that you can get these magnetic trays for your framelits. And you also may recall that I did indeed lose this particular framelit. So I have 2 sets of Jar of Love framelits, but only one tulip shape die. And the reason is because I lost this, and actually it was a long story that involved my children, and bless their hearts, they did the right thing, and what ended up happening is I lost this little die. But this right here is so awesome. It is a magnetic tray. Do you see this? It is from the automotive section of hardware stores, and it is used to hold like screws, nuts, bolts, that kind of stuff for like mechanics and whatnot. But do you see what's happening here? I can just stick my little framelits in here. They will stay put, excuse me, until I put them away. You can see I have a lot of them out. I told you I was lazy, right? So these are the ones I've been using next to, I keep this next to my Big Shot. I have 2 of these, one in my classroom by a Big Shot and one in my office here by a Big Shot. And yes, I do have more than one Big Shot. Anyway, I love this. It has been a lifesaver. I have not lost a single framelit since I've had this. And I've had like 3 scares of losing framelits in the past month. And I was thinking this was bad. So I got this tray and it is so awesome. I highly recommend it. I think this one was like $10. It is so worth it because when you lose a framelit and it costs $30 to replace the set, it's so worth $10. So anyway, I highly recommend that. Okay, I'm done blabbering about it. Like I said, I'm literally giddy. It's so awesome. Okay. And as mentioned before, it would not be a card if Dina didn't spritz. So here we go. Delightful Dijon. And I got a little bit on there. So cute. You know what I'm thinking? Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry. This is also, I'm just realized this. I need to spritz with some, what do you call this stuff? Wink of Stella. Okay, so I am a big lover of Wink of Stella, but I did not like the gold until I started making fall cards. So I'm going to spritz some Wink of Stella. You can see I'm just smacking it against the cap. If the I noticed when I was teaching this in class this week, the cap was a little bit goofy to hold on to. So if you want to hold on to like a pen or a pencil or aqua paint or just something. Okay, now it's hard to see until you pick this up and you notice the shimmer. Oh, so awesome. And I could even add a little more by brushing some on here. Now, I don't put it everywhere because it does have kind of this brownish color to it. You can see right here. It's sort of ugly, actually, and which is why I didn't like it that much to begin with. But when you add some on here, oh my heavens, pure bliss. I love it. So this is really fun. Now, I would not put it on the blue and the raspberry because, like I said, it's ugly. But it looks great on the Calypso, or no, Cajun Craze and Delightful Dijon. So it just works. Now, to finish this card up, I'm going to layer it on a couple of cardstock layers and tie a nice little bow on it. The ribbon is from the Ribbon Trio, which is in the holiday catalog with the Petals and Paisleys suite of fabulous stuff. Or no, Paisleys and Posies. Oh my gosh. Years ago, we had a set called Petals and Paisleys, and I can't get it out of my head. I keep calling it that. Paisleys and Posies. I kind of wonder how they come up with new names after all these years for stamps and ink colors and whatnot, because there's just been so many. Okay, so I have tied this bow in Rich Raspberry. I will glue dot it on there. And do you see how it just kind of covers everything up and makes it look better? I kind of love that. It's super cute. And then I'm just going to adhere it to my card and a layer of cardstock. Oh, but actually I do have to add one teeny little thing, which is a cute, adorable saying. Of course, every card is not complete until there's a cute, adorable saying. This one is just from my Jar of Love stamp set. And it says, "You fill me with happiness," which is just the nicest thing ever. and I'm going to take my banner punch. It's on the discontinued list, of course, but it's in the clearance rack right now. At least it was as of like yesterday. So if you don't have this, I highly recommend picking it up. Love. I'm going to pop this up, then I'll layer it up, then I'll be done. So awesome. And I hope you have liked this card too. I really think it's so fun. And I think that's what I love about this set is you change up the colors and you have, I don't want to say you have a whole new set, but you kind of can use it in a whole new way that you didn't before. Now, can you see the contrast between the shimmer and no shimmer? Love it. And so it's so fun. Now, my photos on my blog are not going to have the shimmer, but I will mention them in the blog post for you. And I only say that because it's nighttime and I can't take a picture of this before this post goes live tomorrow. So there you go. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my videos. I hope that if you need to purchase any of these items, you will consider shopping my online store because I really, really appreciate your support. It helps me bring more amazing videos to you with fabulous, amazing tips and an occasional hysterical story. There you go, guys. I hope you love this. Have a great day. Bye.